Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all fantastic. I've got the new UA Del-Verb and the Galaxy Space Echo to check out today. Big thank you to the folks at CMI here in Australia for loaning me these two pedals. I want to go through each of these in depth and pull some tones with them. But first, we're going to start out on the Galaxy. I want to hear it over a little Floydy style backing track that I made, just to give you an idea of how I would use it in a track. Then we'll go through the controls in depth, and then we'll do the same thing with Del-Verb, hear it over a track, and then dive into some of the specifics. Essentially, Del-Verb is like the greatest hits from their existing Starlight and Golden pedals, and then Galaxy takes their very good plugin, which essentially does the same thing, emulates a Roland Space Echo down to all the nitty-gritty stuff, and shoves it into a pedal. Let's hear the Galaxy. Let's have a listen to some tones from Galaxy in isolation now. I'll go through each of the controls one by one, and we'll have a listen to the effect that they have on the tone. Then I will do some noodling. So we've got echo rate, feedback, and echo volume along the top, which are pretty self-explanatory. Essentially, this knob works in reverse to a typical delay time control. Normally on a delay time control, as you turn it up, the delay time gets longer, so your echoes get further and further apart. On here, this increases the rate of the echoes, so the echoes get closer and closer together as that knob goes up. Feedback, you know, the number of repeats on there, and the echo volume is pretty self-explanatory. The bottom row gives you access to the reverb, volume, and dwell for the spring reverb, so basically reverb, volume, and time. Then you've got input volume over here. So this is going to interact with the reverb and echo volume. If you have it lower, you'll get a cleaner tone. As you turn it up, you're going to get some grit and some drive. It's basically pushing the virtual preamp in there. Then with the alt switch, you've got a bass and treble control, and then you've got tape age. So I'm going to set tape age to the minimum just to get started on here. We'll go back up here and turn the input volume up. You've also got a head selector switch on here. I think of it like a subdivision switch. So I can either use echo rate, or I can use the tap tempo and the head selector on there. So let's do this. Let's have a listen to all of the different options on the echo head switch, starting with number 1. There's 2, 3, and then various combinations. what I like on there is that increasing the tape age not only adds some grit and makes it sound a little more lo-fi, it adds some modulation and some kind of wobble in there. So it's essentially a one knob character control in there. You'll also notice that that input volume control acts on the overall pedal as well. So if I've got it quite low over here, I've got to crank up the reverb and echo volume. Let's hear that. So for me, I like that input volume somewhere around 2 o'clock on there just to give it some grit. Similar thing with the tape age control. In general, kind of like my delays a little on the darker side. So with the alt function, I like having the treble control down a little bit, not playing too much with the bass control on there. A little bit of reverb, and then either heads 2 and 3 or all 3 heads together for sort of maximum ambient bliss on there. I'll let you hear that setting actually with all 3 heads on there. You would have noticed that as I changed the tap tempo, or I could have used the repeat rate on here, that you will get like self-oscillation sounds and pitch shifting and everything that a tape delay would do in the real world. Furthermore, if you hold down this foot switch, you can have it set up to either just hold the repeats or ramp them up or ramp them down, which I think is a really cool little feature on there. You just set that up with the app. So let's have a listen to the setting that I've been enjoying the most with this kind of clean setup. I love that self-oscillation on there as well. So essentially the way Galaxy works is the same way that Del-Verb is laid out. And it's not until I played with these two pedals side by side that I kind of went, I see what they're doing on here. Let's hear Del-Verb in a mix. I want to hear the 224 on there because the 224 on the UA Golden is one of my favorite reverbs in a pedal of all time. And we will add some lush delay from the Deluxe Memory Man simulation in there. Let's hear that, then we'll do what we just did with the Galaxy. Del-Verb essentially packages the best bits of Starlight together with the best bits of the Golden pedal and streamlines it. So this control down here is your single knob reverb control. Everything else is dedicated to the delay. If you haven't checked out my standalone videos with Starlight and Golden, I will link them at the end of this video so you can really get deep into those. But you know, if you're kind of familiar with what we did with the Galaxy, basically there's your reverb control, but you can select between a spring, a plate, and UA's excellent Lexicon 224 emulation. More about that in just a second. Then we've got an Echoplex style delay, we've got a Deluxe Memory Man style delay, and we've got UA's precision delay in there. If you get access to the app on here, you can actually set these up for essentially different presets on there. So the way I've set this up is I've got a dark preamp style thing going on with the Echoplex on there. Then I've just got the default Deluxe Memory Man on there, and I've got a ping pong delay from the precision delay. Now you can choose between a lot of different presets, especially for the Deluxe Memory Man. We'll hear some of those in a second, but first, let's maybe just hear a basic ping pong delay out of precision. We'll hear where I've got the Deluxe Memory Man set up, and then we'll hear where I've got the Echoplex preamp. So this is the ping pong coming from the precision delay. Let's hear the reverb options now, where I've got them set up. The spring, I've gone for the symphonic reverb preset. The plate, I've gone for plate B. And for the 224, I've gone for the cascading 224s preset on there. In my opinion, setting this pedal up with the app is probably a little bit more essential than on the Galaxy. The Galaxy is a little bit more plug and play because it's just setting out to recreate a single unit. Here, you've got 3 different delays, 3 different reverbs, and having different starting points, I think, is really essential on this. So let's just hear, maybe I'll turn the reverb knob to noon. We'll hear where I've got the spring, where I've got the plate, and where I've got the 224. Just having any of those delays together with that 224 really does it for me. What I'll do is just let you hear some of the different options on that Lexicon 224 emulation on there. So I've got the app opened on an iPad over here, you know, for reference. You probably can't see that because it's way overexposed. Nevertheless, let's just have a listen to some of the different presets on here. There's some really sweet ones, from kind of small stuff to cascaded ambience that will just kind of trail on for over 30 seconds, which is pretty cool. There's also some chorus stuff, like here's 8-voice chorus mode. Let's hear this preset. While we're just surfing presets, I'll let you hear a couple of plate presets on here. This one is called Plate C, Stereo Images. I'm then going to switch over to Plate A, Studio Standard. I was a little bit skeptical about not having as many controls for the reverb side on Del-Verb as on the Golden, but especially on the 224 mode, it almost stays true to the aesthetic of the original units, where most people just used those as preset machines. So you could use the app to find your favorite preset, assign it to the pedal, and you've just got one knob to control the amount of reverb on there. It's pretty functional. Like all the other UA pedals, I have two main requests. One is that you could do everything you do on the Bluetooth app on a PC via the USB connection. And the second one would be the ability to create your own presets using the software. I think that would be really powerful, because then that way, again, you could go in and do all your sound design, get your perfect reverb, pump it into the pedal, and you've got a really useful way to dial it in. Having said that, the built-in presets are pretty fantastic. Let's hear some delay presets now. We'll just stay with this precision delay. I should have mentioned earlier as well, the mod control basically has a range from like 0 to halfway, which to me sounds like sine wave modulation. And you've got like square wave or maybe a triangle on there, something a little glitchier sounding from the middle up. So let's go back to a clean sound, and we've got the precision delay on here at the moment. I'll let you just hear the default precision, and then we'll hear stereo ping pong and tiny cross. There's some presets I really enjoy. So let's hear the default mode. This one works really nicely as well if you want to set up the pedal to have the right foot switch be tap tempo over there. So tap the tempo in, and then you have a very, very clean neutral sounding delay. Slapback delays, I like the tape mode the most on here. This is a preset called EP with Vibey Buckets. You'll notice that in this mode, when you've got tap tempo enabled, that the reverb is always on. It would be cool to have a mode where you can still have the tap tempo and then maybe hold this foot switch to activate or deactivate your reverb independently of your delay, because if I turn this off, then both of the effects come off. It's the same way that the Galaxy works, but I think in the case of the Del-Verb, there's a good case to be made that they should be able to be used as independent engines. Anyway, let's hear this particular preset for some slap, then I'll go over to the DMM for some really wild, glitchy sound. a sound I did not expect to get out of this pedal. That preset for the delay is called Sync Octave Cross Dirty Try, and then combining it with a 224 reverb on there, it's almost got like a synth style quality on there. This is another kind of glitchy, really weird pitch shifty preset on here called Warm Ambi Whole Steps. I think I'm going to pull up stumps there. Let me know your thoughts about both of these new UA pedals in the comments section below. I have to say a massive thank you to Felipe and the team at CMI here in Australia for loaning me these pedals. They've been really good to me when it comes to loaning me epic gear that you all want to hear on the channel. Send them some love in the comments section below. If you like what I do on the channel and you want to support it directly, you can check the video description to do that. I'm going to play you all out with some of these kind of glitchy sounds. I've got the sort of Blade Runner style reverb happening on here. I've got that like sync octaves triangle modulation thing on the delay. This is so much fun. This was a pretty unexpected set of tones out of the Del-Verb. I think if you're looking for a 2-in-1 delay and reverb, that is pretty much a set and forget unit. Like I said, you use the app to load in your favorite 2 presets and you just go from there. Then it's going to be really appealing to people who didn't want to dump the money on the Starlight and the Golden. Both of those pedals are a little more suited towards like delay and reverb connoisseurs. If you're like tweaking and you want all the options available on the pedal, then you're still probably going to want to get the standalone pedals on there. However, this is a great compromise in a small package. And then the Galaxy, you know, it does space echo things. If you're looking for the UA space echo plugin, basically in a pedal that you can put on your pedal board and take anywhere, that one's going to make you very happy. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Have a great day, and here are some more glitchy guitar noises. Thanks for watching.